Gen X grew up on late-night warnings.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Scared, straight.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
And were inspired by movies that defined a generation.
I mean, we're all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I feel the need for speed.
We found our attitude in comedy.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
You see that sign? No shirt, no shoes, no ties.
Right. Learn it. Know it. Live it.
And our identity in pop culture.
I want my MTV!
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
What you talking about, Willis?
Keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
This is Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhide.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, welcome in, everyone. Bill Rowland, Gary Dollarhide. This is, of course, the Gen X Men podcast. Merry Christmas, episode 14. We have one more. I think we'll get one more in before the end of the year. Next week, it'll be our New Year's Eve holiday spectacular. I'm here in Northern Virginia. Gary is there in Maine. And as you'd expect in December, got a little bit of weather going on up there.
It's going to be a white Christmas here, no doubt. We had a storm move in last night. Kind of is tapering off now, but I know here where we are in southern Maine, we got a good 6 to 8 inches, more so up north. I know some of the kids coming to visit us tomorrow are having to dig out right now from a foot or more. You'd mentioned your family from northern Maine as well. Fortunately, they're down there with you, not here having to dig out.
Yeah, no, here's my question for them, and I'll see them tomorrow, so I'll ask. If they got a foot of snow, it ain't going anywhere in the next week.
Nope.
So when they get back home, I mean, look, the roads will be plowed and everything else. Their driveway's not going to be plowed.
No.
So, like, you park on the street, walk into the house, and then come back out and shovel, and then put the cars in the drive. I mean,
well, so the question is, I mean, do they live in town or are they more rural?
No. They're not in town.
Okay.
I mean, they're in the town of Corinna.
Yeah.
But the town of Corinna is smaller than my neighborhood that I live in. I mean, the streets will be plowed. I mean, all over Maine, they do a good job of that. But unless they got a neighbor that's going to be like, yeah, we'll go out and snow blow it, because I'm sure everybody has a snow blower. I don't know what their driveway is going to be like when they get back.
Well, as hardy Mainers, I'm sure they are. They've probably dealt with this before. They've got either the big snow blower, the plow guy, who knows what they have in their tool chest, but it'll be dealt with pretty easily, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not worried about them getting it cleared off eventually. I'm just wondering, like, they get back from the drive home. Mm-hmm. You've been on the road. It's 12 hours plus from here to Maine where they live. All that time, and then you're going to get there and be like, oh, there's 12 inches of snow in the driveway. Now what? That's my
dig yourself out. But that's what Mainers do. Having lived up here and, met people that are native and understand their winters, that's just, to them, it's like wearing a raincoat in Seattle. It's just what we do. We get home from a long drive. Yep, we've got to clear out the driveway so we can get the car in. That's just what you do.
Or just one little section where you can get the car and get the rest of the driveway the next day. All right. So you sent along, if some folks who may want to see this, you sent along a picture and a video of what you guys are going through. So there's a picture of you. Now tell everybody, I mean, you don't give away exactly where you are. I don't think anybody's trying to track us down, but is obviously that's on the coast, because as we're looking at it, you see the buildings, and then to the left of the buildings, that's water, right?
That is the ocean, and it's not a problem. I am currently located in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, which is in the southern Maine, south of Portland. And so, yes, that is the Atlantic Ocean right across the street from where we're staying for the winter this year.
So you have a nice ocean view room.
Well, no, because someone built this nice 4-story Airbnb across the street. So yeah, you don't have the view. So
Okay.
you walk the 100 yards over, because I'll take the dog out. He loves to roam on the beach.
Sure.
And 100 yards, and that's what you see. It's all ocean. It's actually one of the largest beaches here in Maine, because despite being a coastal state, you'd be surprised how few actual beaches there actually is in this state.
It's all rocky, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, I know they've got a long shoreline, but it's all rocks.
Yep. A lot of rocks.
Yeah.
Mostly southern Maine from here south is beach, as you would expect, with sand and places to sun. Once you start heading north, the terrain changes, and it's very few places where there's an actual beach. It's all rocks and not fjords, because we're not in Sweden, but it's not a straight line coast like you get down south in places.
No, it's rocky, jagged, miserable. Yeah. There's that, and then you also sent me the video, so we'll throw the video up here.
Yep. Just a little taste. Cold weather for those of you who are not getting snow for your Christmas. Come to the ocean here in Maine. You'll get the wind, the snow, the ocean spray. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I have another friend and person that I worked with. Her name Lucy Burge. She did a lot of stuff with us when I was working with BetMGM and everything. And she every day does her bets, like most of these people that are, working with FanDuel or DraftKings, wherever. I think she's DraftKings now. But anyway, she does her walking bets. So she's walking throughout the city and, filming herself as she does it and giving out her bets. And the one she did earlier today, I mean, that wind in your video, it was way intensified there, I guess, because she's between the buildings and just got one of those like wind tunnels.
Okay.
Literally could barely hear her because it was just wind. I mean, it was brutal. And I was like, it's got to be freezing up there.
Yeah. So one of the odd things, again, not being native to Maine, that I've noticed since moving here is the wind picks up here on the coast. So you'll have snow. It'll be cold. And you pray for those days where it's nice, sunny, and cold, but the wind is not stirring, because it's manageable. These winds, I mean, at our place, even up north, I mean, you're talking 40, 50 mile an hour gust, and you're just getting hit in the face with cold. That's why you saw me in the full hood.
Yeah.
Because any exposed skin to the wind, it just becomes miserable.
Now, did you have it? Because I've spent a little time. Again, my mom's from up there. Mm-hmm. But I remember going down to the coast in the wintertime. I don't remember why we were there, but kind of like that on the water. And then the wind picked up. So, of course, it's just like if, around here, if you've gone to Virginia Beach, Ocean City, Bethany, Rehoboth, Beach Town, you'll wake up some days when you've had like a really bad windstorm, and you'll have like the sand or the sea water spray on the window of, whatever you're staying in. Say you're staying in a condo or house, and it'll be covered.
Yep.
Well, I remember going, and then that still happens, the wind coming off the ocean, and it picks up, obviously, the ocean water and throws it on shore, but it's freezing cold. So then you wake up, and it's nothing but ice, like almost like on your car windshield or whatever. Just your hotel window is just a sheet of ice over top of it from where the wind has blown the sea air, or not sea air, but the sea water on land.
You will see. So there's the beach, then there's called a small half block of the oceanfront properties,
right?
And then the street, then us. So we're blocked, like I said, that 4-story building and everything. So we don't quite have that. But if you go across the street and look at some of those houses, you will see the snow caked on.
Yeah,
because the wind coming off the water, it's blowing the snow and the froth, and it's just stuck. And so, yeah, you'll see them out there cleaning their windows, and sometimes some of them will just give up and wait for a warm day. But but half our front door, when I got home this morning, because I was on duty last night, was covered. Like we were talking about, it's just the bottom half of the door is ice and white snow just caked on. You kind of have to chip away to get the door open.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
But yeah, the high winds is what has been the most interesting part for me living in Maine the past few years, is during the winter, whatever the cycles are, how the cells work, you just get high winds. So you add that with the snow, and it's quite a mess. And today was one of those storms we were expecting it, but it's still quite a bit of work to get us plowed out, cleaned up. But
even if you expect it, that doesn't help any. So
yeah, because so what I always say is we manage snow well, but everything's going to shut down for 12 to 24 hours because you have to clean it up.
Right.
So because the crews do and don't plow when it's continuously snowing because there's no use unless it's that big a storm. You got to keep ahead of it.
Right.
This storm, 6 to 8 inches down here, they just said, let it snow. We'll get out and clean up once it stops. Because
that's the smart thing. Unlike in Virginia where they're like, oh, we got to have the plows out all the time. And then it's just constant. And they do 2 inches and they have to come back and do it again because, people will be angry if, oh my gosh, we got 6 inches of snow and the plows didn't show up until a day after it ended. Well, yeah, because that makes the most sense, but they don't do that around here. But anyway,
no management. It's a thing.
All right. So it is, of course, we're recording this Christmas Eve day or Christmas Eve morning, if you will, the 24th. So we did a little bit on music last week, talking about, some songs and everything else. As far as we're talking about Wham and Last Christmas and everything, I did a deeper dive after the fact because was looking at like how much money is generated. Like you had sent me a list about the worst Christmas songs, the top 10 worst Christmas songs that somebody from, I don't even remember what magazine it was or online it was. And number 2 on that list was Elmo and Patsy's Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, which I will dispute that it is not the second worst Christmas song ever.
I will agree.
I was like, I'm going to do a little deep dive into this. Those guys have probably made, since that has come out with licensing and streaming and everything else, they estimate probably close to $8 to $10 million off that song.
Nice.
So they still every year generate a ton of revenue from what was just a goofy parody song that has worked for them. So good for them. That's life-changing money. Where if they didn't want to, they make enough off of it every year that they wouldn't have to ever work again. Yeah. Because they just make enough of it.
And we touched on it. We didn't get deep, but Mariah Carey, same situation, right? She's not really doing a lot of regular music, but we know now because she hit the lottery with that song. Every year she's going to be making bank because of her Christmas hit. It's there every year. It's almost, if you were planning it out, if you go, I have one song in me, I've got to make it one of the best Christmas songs ever, and just every year you're getting paid.
All right, so
that would be.
Here's some of the numbers, okay? Because again, I did it with hers as well, okay? So we were talking about Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, right? Mm-hmm. So that you're basically going to make over the course of it that, let me see, they have probably made $10 to $15 million over the lifetime of the song. Okay. Mariah Carey's 2 to 4 million per year. Every year. That song came out in 1994.
Wow.
So the estimation from ChatGPT, and it went through all the things of like publishing and everything else, is it's probably made $80 to $100 million just that one singular song. It's incredible.
I don't know if you did this, but now I want to question if we isolate that song from the rest of her music career. Which one did it for,
I bet she's made more money off that one song than her entire career.
Yeah.
I would think because now I don't know this for a fact. I'm assuming Mariah didn't write a lot of her other songs. Yeah. She has co-writing credits and she's the sole owner as far as the publishing goes. There's another guy, and I forget his name, that helped write the song. He claims that he wrote the music, and he's tried in the past to again, scrape more money out of it and hasn't won. Which, yeah, exactly. Probably when he did it, he's like, this will be a good song, but it's no different than anything else. And then it's become, again, love it or hate it, it has become, and I'm not a huge fan of the song, I tolerate it, but it's not one that I'm going to go to like, oh, it's Christmas time. I should play, I want Mariah Carey song. But I also understand that it is the biggest Christmas song out there. She's turned it into a whole cottage industry.
Oh, yeah.
She's turned it into, she's Punxsutawney Phil of Christmas. Where when you see Mariah, Christmas season has started. Unfortunately, well, I know she shows up in October sometimes. I'm like, no, not yet. Put her back in the box. Yet.
Well, I think doesn't she have a show special? She does it.
I'm sure.
Radio City Music or something like it's her thing now is what I understand to be it. And obviously, hey, if you're going to ride that wagon, then ride it for all it's worth till it stops, right?
$80 million from one song. Yeah, I'm going to play it every year too. And again, in doing the research in Chat GPT kind of pointed this out, like there is no other song. Like she's, again, kind of cornered the market. It has become more, it's a cultural touchstone now. There is no other song that's suddenly going to take its place that you can think of. Like it's just, it's not out there and nobody's done one. And it's hard to, what do you get? Like, how do you top that? How do you topple that from being the Christmas song now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and, fortunate for her, because even, again, I don't know the full catalog, but, Taylor Swift has only remade other Christmas songs. Right? She's not come out with the one that's hers. So Mariah caught the lightning in the bottle with this song, and, God bless her for it,
Right. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it was in, and we can have this discussion. We might as well switch it over to movies because that was on our thing as well. That All I Want for Christmas Is You was in, again, it's been movies, tons of them. It was in Love Actually. They did the entire song, which I'm sure they had to pay dearly for. I don't know if you've watched or if your wife is a fan of this movie.
I haven't watched it in a while.
My fiance is a giant fan of this movie.
Oh.
I will argue with anyone. This is not an uplifting movie.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you seen it? Do you know of it?
So here's the problem. I can't. You say the title. I know the title, but I can't tell you what it's about. I may have seen it, and just again because the content is not really what. So remembering the actual storyline, what it's about.
It's one of these movies that has a ton of storylines. It's weaved where everybody's kind of connected. One of those type of things. Again, if your wife likes it, fine. I know a lot of women do. It's okay.
I don't know.
It is not the uplifting movie. There's people cheating on each other. There's people getting divorced. The whole premise, as again, Carrie will explain, is that love is everywhere. You can find and because it opens up with a scene of people greeting folks at the airport. Again, a nice touch. Sure. We've all gone to the airport. You haven't seen a relative or a loved one for a while and you give them a big hug. It's emotional. That's how the movie opens up. And then you go into all these different thread lines, storylines and plots that overlap each other. And then at the end of the movie, it's kind of the same thing where I think Hugh Grant is the one that is basically narrating it at the end. I think it's his character. I can't remember. But then it's everybody, again, hugging. It's the people all from the movie now. For some reason, all of them end up at the airport at the same time. Again, like, please, it's not going to happen this way. But anyway, so they're all hugging, and that's how it, it's like they showed you at the beginning, then you had those storylines. And even though these people have terrible, terrible experiences, they still find their loved ones at the airport to give them a hug because they've come home or whatever it is. It's bunk. It's, again, maybe you have to watch it to experience it. I cannot deal with this idea that this movie is some sort of uplifting Christmas happy holiday thing. Again, divorce, people cheating on each other. There's a guy who was in love. He did the video work at his best friend's wedding, and he's in love with his best friend's wife. Shows up at their house. Like, you remember the INXS video with the cards, and they just drop the cards over and over again, right?
Yes.
So the woman, it's Keira Knightley is the actress. So anyway, he shows up at his friend's house. They're married, right? with these cards. So he doesn't want, because he can't sit there and talk, because then his buddy would hear his voice and be like, hey, what's going on? So his buddy is sitting in there, I guess, watching TV or whatever, and he's holding up cards expressing his love for this woman. Like, it's like, come on, it's creepy. Like, somebody shows up at your house like that, it's creepy. That's not uplifting. That isn't a love, unrequited love, or whatever you would say, whatever the term is.
Mm-hmm.
It's stalker. Creepy.
So you describing the plot line made me go, nope, I do not recall seeing this.
Alan Rickman's
given me
if that helps at all.
No. And now you've given me I don't think I need to see this one.
No, you don't. You don't need to. If you did, I think knowing you'd be on my side going, this really is not uplifting at all.
No. Now, it's an actual Christmas movie, right?
Yes,
that's where it takes place.
No, it's all based at Christmas time. Yes. I mean, it's the whole thing it is a Christmas movie. Yes.
So if we go back to what we were talking about music, I guess it could play for movies, television as well. One of the themes of Christmas was either lost love or great love.
Right.
50-50, right? And so maybe you're getting both out of that movie. So it's trying to deliver both ends of the spectrum.
It's not great. I'll just leave it at that. And if you disagree with me, please feel free in the comments, or again, on X, you can find me at Bill Rowland, ROHLAND. I don't care. I will argue with anybody about this. This isn't a don't at me moment. Yeah, you want to have a discussion? Let's have a discussion, because it's a tragic movie. As far as it trying to be like, oh, it's so uplifting. No, you feel bad for these people. I do anyway. I was like, feel bad. This dude cheated on his wife. This other dude is stalking his best friend's, wife. It's creepy.
So what we need to do, because I had this conversation with Susan the other day, we were flipping through, there's Netflix and all the Christmas movies. I call them the Hallmark Christmas movies now.
Sure.
Because it's either the guy or the girl typically has a big city job and somehow ends up going home to rural America for Christmas, and either falling in love with either an old love or someone new, and realizing how much better their life would be if they left the big city, went to the country, grew Christmas trees, whatever. But it's all under a Christmas theme. And that's what I found funny, because we were flipping through. I'm like, that looks like that. That looks like the same. It's a formula.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they get watched a million times.
Of course.
Or more by people. And I just kind of laugh, like after 2 or 3, it's like, it's the same storyline.
Yeah. It's just it's the same plot with different occupations.
Yes.
That's all it is. Yeah. And that's good. I mean, that's fine. If you like that kind of stuff, it's cool. I mean, I will still go back. I'd rather watch, It's a Wonderful Life. Mm-hmm. Even though I can almost, the entire plot, all the way through and everything else, and what's going to happen. I'd still rather watch that than some of the junk that's come out recently. But those Hallmark movies, those are simple. You and I can sit down and write 5 or 6 of those things, and I'll easily just change it. All right, this time she's going to run a bakery. We're going to have her run a bakery, and the guy that used to make fun of her in high school because maybe she was a little overweight, well, now she's still doing baked goods, but she's slimmed down and looks awesome. And he's come back from his big city. I don't know. Maybe he's an accountant or something for a big 5 accounting firm, and comes home and goes, wow. And maybe she needs to renegotiate her lease, and he can help her do that. And they fall in love over contracts. I don't know, but I bet we could write an 1.5-hour movie that would be a hit.
We could. And funny thing, we were discussing, I said, these movies, it's almost like Mad Libs, right?
Yeah.
You just fill in the blank. Her job is X. His job is X. And go through, like you said, the description, or let's do the past history. She was scorned for whatever reason, or the boyfriend just left her, wasn't treated like. We can just Mad Lib this thing and come up with the entire movie plot in half the script.
That's what we do. Yes, absolutely, 100%. And I don't know how well it pays, but this is why, like, you could probably do this with AI right now. Mm-hmm. And have the entire script. I mean, that's what they talk about, how AI is going to start, right? You won't need writers and everything. Well, yeah, you're not going to need it when all you have to do is give it a 3-line plot and just say every Hallmark movie ever, just change their occupation And like you said, which one of them is coming home from the big city?
Yeah.
Ready, go. And then it'll have it for you. It'll be done. Simple.
Oh man, the writer strike is coming.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need they won't even need the writers anymore. Again, they can just go with AI and do it that way.
Well, I figure at some point they're going to pull a strike, and then that's where the switch will flip for somebody. Some organization media will be like, okay, take all the time you need. We're going to work over here with. I'm sure they got an internal AI that they've named. We're going to work with Claude.
Yeah. Well, here's the only thing, and I do side with the humans on this. Is AI is not generating anything new. Mm-hmm. All it is doing is scraping all the previous scripts of all the movies of all genres, and then kind of literally weaving them together. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have the human experience so they can write a love story just based on what the factors are in these other movies, plays, formula, poems, etc. that have already been written, and they'll pull from them and then kind of put them into a blender and then spit it back out. But I don't think AI will be able to write properly with the proper human emotions and reactions and everything else like that. So yes, well, I think AI could basically do the structure. I don't think they can do the intricacies that will make something either funny. Like if you ask AI to write you a joke, it's usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Now, you could try to say, hey, write me a joke about this in the style of this, and it will be able to scrape the topic and then the comedian that you wanted, and they'll have their, like whether it's Dave Attell or Bill Burr or whatever it is in the style of, and it can do it, but the joke itself isn't funny.
Yeah. I think what'll to go along with that, I think what I foresee happening is AI will create, like you said, the formula, the structure, but it's going to be the few that are actually talented.
Right.
Now it gets into the hands of a human writer and says, we're going to try this, we're going to do that, and spices it up, if you will.
Yeah, polishing it. Yeah.
Yep. And so what will happen is you will have a smaller group of some of the best writers, creative people, and half these people now that are so-called writers will end up on the street because they never had it to begin with. It's just the job was so massive and so many slots that they were allowed to exist. But this will take away and kind of funnel the best that will only be left standing to work with the AI to come up with the new content.
Yeah. And you'll have, they're talking about cameramen because like the AI can create the backgrounds, and I've seen some unbelievable, AI where scenery or whatever you want to say. And that's fine. To me, I don't look at that as any different than CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to have people work on CGI. Like AI is you're still going to have to be an AI expert to like know what prompts to give it and know how to manipulate it so it gives you what you want. Because again, I've tried to do it with some of the thumbnails for our videos. If you go back on our YouTube page and look at the videos that we've done in the past, and you'll see the little AI thumbnails. I've done that with ChatGPT is what I've used. And sometimes I get frustrated. It'll take me 15, 20 minutes because I just can't, I don't know exactly the prompts. I'm an idiot. I just go, hey, I want a thumbnail that looks like this. Give me this. And sometimes it'll hit it right away. Other times it takes like forever. And you have to keep reminding it. Like when you make a correction, you have to, it's not like if you and I were talking and I said, I need a thumbnail that looks like this. And maybe one little thing is off. And I just go, no. I need you to change this. I like the number to be 17 instead of 22 on the jersey. Like say I'm doing something like that. Well, it will change that, but then it also changes a bunch of other stuff at the same time. And you're like, no. I just go back. I have to sit there and go back to the original. Everything else is the same. Change the jersey number. And then it might get it right, and it might have something else. And then you have to be like, no. Keep everything the same. Now do me a favor, change this. And sometimes it can do it, and sometimes it can't. So you got to know how to do the prompts. I'm sure there's AI and computer people out there like, you're a complete moron. Admittedly, I am. That's what I have. That's how I have to do it.
I'm trying to pull up a picture here because I wanted to extend on what you said.
What are you looking for? Is it one of ours? I can probably pull it.
No. It was one I created on AI, and I wanted to talk about, there we go. Okay. I'll try to turn it so you can see.
Yep.
So I told it to put me in a Confederate cavalry uniform, right?
I mean,
on a horse.
And
when you see, you get in close, I mean, it did a good job.
Do you have like 6 toes or something, or
no? So here's what's funny. So I did that off the cuff. I was at work. I was playing around. I was like, let's just see what we come up with. And that was what I was impressed with. It was an old driver's license photo that I used for the face.
Nice.
Straight on shot. Look, I'm googly eyed and it angled my face, weathered me. I was like, this is fantastic. So then I started messing with it. Like, hey, can you do a different hat? And that's where it went off the rails.
Right.
I ended up with a Union hat. I mean, it just went, and I was like, wow, to be as smart and capable as this is, maybe it's me, but you hit it on the first one, and the more I messed with it, the worse I got. So then I just deleted the rest and went with that original photo.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's you have to know the prompts, and again, I haven't messed around with it or taken a course, or I'm not smart enough computer, AI wise, to be like, okay, I know how we can fix this, how we can take care of it. So I just, again, trial by error. And a lot of times, if it'll hit it right the first time, I'm like, I'm not even going to mess with this. It's close enough. And then I just go on. Because again, this isn't some, 1,000 or 100,000 or $1 million industry that we're doing. It's just you and I sitting here talking to each other. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. So it works.
But it looks good for us. That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's, shows that we know what we're doing, sort of, I guess. So we, talking about the movies, and again, I'd much rather watch the older ones. There's just, I did a thing with the high school girls basketball team that I coached the other day. We do a holiday practice every time before Christmas. Basically, our last practice, it's on a Saturday. We'll practice for an hour, and then the last hour we just have the kids. Basically, I come up with a bunch of games for them to play and everything else. So this year I did some holiday trivia from the movies. And again, these are all Gen Z kids. They're high school, 14 to 18-year-olds. I was surprised at how well they knew like Home Alone, and because that movie is like twice as old as any of them. I mean, it was 1990, I think, the original one, but they know it. Even Elf is way older than them, because I think Elf is 2003? Is that right?
2003. Yep. Yeah.
So Elf is 22 years old. None of these kids are that old. They knew Elf pretty well. What were the other movies? We did Polar Express, which again, I'm not surprised. It's a cartoon. They actually knew Home Alone and Elf better than they knew Polar Express for the most part. So I was just surprised at how well, and we didn't do Christmas Vacation or any of those, but I was just surprised at how well they knew, again, Home Alone from all the way back in 1990. And they even said, well, which Home Alone, so that we know because there's 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was laughing. I thought there wasn't a third.
There might have been. We don't recognize
I stopped after 1. That's the problem. That's why I kind of laughed like, yep, there's more than 1.
Yeah. But 2, I think, is the one that he gets lost in New York and he ends up in Trump Hotel, if you remember that.
Oh, that's 2. Trump. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's 2. 1 is when the family goes to Paris and he's left alone all by himself. So 1 doesn't have the bird lady in Central Park, if you remember the woman that had all the pigeons. That's in 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I hadn't seen it, but you're right. It's Trump. Yeah. He's in New York. I remember the pigeon lady.
Anything in New York is 2.
Okay.
Anything at his home, wherever they're originally from, Chicago maybe, that's 1.
Chicago.
Yeah, that's 1. So, but anyway, I was just surprised. But then I thought about it. What new movie, like Christmas movie, and maybe I'm the wrong person to ask. Maybe you're the wrong person to ask. There hasn't been anything new that I've been like, that's a really good Christmas movie. Like, I even go back and like, I like Scrooge because I'm a big Bill Murray fan. So I love,
great movie.
I love that movie. It's fantastic. But that had to be late 90s, mid 90s, 88.
1988. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What has there been a recent one that you go, okay, I don't know. Because again, as you talk about, it's all Hallmark movies that don't make it to theaters, that they just redo them every year. They make 3 or 4 of new ones and like, here you go. Here's your new batch of holiday movies. I don't know.
Well, other than, and maybe it's because I don't pay attention, maybe because the kid's older, I don't know. To me, Elf is the last big Christmas movie that came out and has the staying power. That's the only one I can recall that I go, because to me, I go, oh, that's the modern movie. Well, it's almost 20 some years old now.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Right? That's the crazy part. But that's the one I look at and go, oh, that's the modern staple, if you will. Because once you get beyond that, it's Home Alone. And then to me, once you get beyond that, then we're going way back. Well,
Scrooge,
Scrooge, yeah.
Christmas Vacation is the 80s, right?
Right. So as much as I love Scrooge, it is a staple, but it's kind of that, oh yeah, that one. It's not the boom, December 1st, any channel, it's going to be there. Even though it is, you really don't think about it. Right. And so the next one would be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because they run that.
Right.
The other staple, I can't remember what year it was.
Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
Right.
And after that, man, you're going, It's a Wonderful Life. Is it the original
40s.
Miracle, right?
Yeah.
The original Miracle on 34th Street or the remake? I mean, you're getting into the hardcore old ones. So to me, there's not, I understand why they know Home Alone, why they know Elf, because those were the last, what I'll call Christmas blockbusters that have stood the test of time. I mean, I know one of the list I pulled, and I don't switch this, but TV.
That's fine. Yeah.
What were the specials? Give me the biggest specials. It's still Charlie Brown from 1965, Rudolph from 64, Frosty from 69. They're all late 60s, early 70s. So there's not been another.
Do you think it's because those are mainly animated and we don't do animation as much? Do you think that has anything to do with it? Because you mentioned like Frosty. Was it A Year Without Santa Claus? Isn't that the one with the Heat Miser and Mr. Freeze? Which that was always my favorite growing up. Mm-hmm. I love that one. The Island of Misfit Toys and all of that kind of stuff. Love those stop action cartoons. I don't know that we do that anymore because I think they look at it and they go, kids aren't going to like this stuff.
Yeah. I think the bigger part of it is the media outlets. You and I growing up, there was 3 channels.
That's a fair point.
Right? So if Charlie Brown was coming out, everyone watched Charlie Brown, and I think it was CBS, right? That's what America tuned into. There was nothing else. Now, well, again, we just talked about it. What does Netflix have? What does right? It's so, and then cable came first. Everything became so diluted that nothing could get that traction. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Charlie Brown, those are classics. They're good.
Right. Of course.
But nothing else could get the traction that they did because the audience and delivery changed over the course of our lifetime where, like I said, Elf in 2003 might be the last biggest Christmas movie. I mean, 20 some years.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to pull off, and again, hard to pull off. And who's going to sit down and go, yep, we're going to write this and it's going to be the next Christmas blockbuster.
Yeah. I mean, I was just looking at it. I just typed into again ChatGPT and said, give me the biggest Christmas movies here recently. And like you said, it was all, here's this on Netflix. Here's this, like there hasn't been a big one other than, and this one, I remember it now that I've read about it, but I can't imagine it did very well, called Red One. That was the one with The Rock and Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember hearing anybody say, oh, we gotta stream Red One. That was great. So
so what's funny is I took Tommy to see that last year before, whenever it came out. I had no idea. I was like, okay, we'll go see it. I had no idea it was a Christmas movie. Okay, let's just go.
Right.
Entertaining for the hour and a half, absolutely. But I don't see it being the, stalwart, the monumental. That is a Christmas movie that we're going to have to go see and watch and stream every year now. It's just not there.
And ChatGPT agrees with you. I put it in here and I said, give me the biggest movie since Elf that has become a classic Christmas movie. And it said, there has not been a theatrical release Christmas movie that's clearly entered the same cultural tier as Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Polar Express was the year after, but it's not, as it says, not universally beloved.
Correct.
It does mention Love Actually, but then says, but it says adult only appeal and not a family rewatch the way Elf is. I would also say not uplifting. However, it mentions the Santa Claus trilogy, which I know Carrie's oldest son is here and her youngest daughter. They're both in their 20s now. They put on the Santa Claus 3 the other day. Now, again, I don't know if that I don't remember ever watching the Santa Claus ones. That's the one with Tim Allen.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I've never seen any of the 3 all the way through, so I can't comment on that. But the Santa Claus original one came out before Elf, so I don't know that would count. So again, I think you nailed it. I think Elf is the last one. It's kind of like the Mariah Carey Christmas song. Like that's kind of like the last one. Like what song has come out since then that you go, oh, I love that Christmas song? I don't know if there is one.
Yeah. I mean, and again, you could argue maybe it's the lack of creativity that, it's so money driven that, whether it be music, TV specials, whatever, we're just not overly investing in creating the next great one, whether it's music, television, etc. Or, it's just so diluted now. It's hard unless it is something else. Hey, it's just hard to get traction.
Right.
I mean, you're only going to hear Christmas music. Like here we have one station that flips the switch on Thanksgiving Day and it's all Christmas all the time, but you listen to it, it's the same stuff. I don't hear anything new.
Right.
Movies, they're going to come out with movies. It's just the question of which one's going to get the traction.
Right.
Right.
And I think streaming, I think you nailed it earlier. Streaming has just changed the game for everything because they're going to put out, again, Netflix has had a couple of streaming, Christmas movies, but I think you're right. I think we've reached that point that at some point, just like all these other movies, at some point, those are going to fade away. The Peanuts, I think with our generation, I don't think the younger kids care that much about the Peanuts thing. I think our Gen X is just trying to keep it alive through their kids because that's what we watched. And at some point, when the millennials or Z have their own kids, they're not going to push them towards Charlie Brown because I don't know that Charlie Brown and everything is a thing anymore. Like, I doubt that an average 8 to 10-year-old to 12-year-old today, they might know who Charlie Brown is and Snoopy and everything, but they're not putting out new stuff.
No,
and they're not reading the comics. So I mean,
they're not the forefront like it was for us. Because I think right now, again, I don't pay attention to network TV. Is CBS even still airing the Charlie Brown
I don't know if it's there, if it's on Paramount Plus, which is their streaming.
Yeah.
I don't.
I thought that Apple TV had the rights.
Maybe.
I could be wrong, which means now you've isolated it to, if you want it, you either had to buy the video, have it already on VHS,
right,
or you have to have Apple TV. And if you don't have that, we're not in a world where, like you said, the next generation behind us are going to go, oh, we have to.
Right.
We're buying Apple TV to play it for the kids this year. They'll find something else that's easier.
Right. And even if you, I can remember, for us, I distinctly remember being like, oh, they're showing Frosty and Charlie Brown. Like they showed all of them back to back to back, like on one particular night. And if you didn't see it that night, you didn't see it that year for Christmas. It's not like they played it 3, 4, 5 times. It was, this is the night you're going to see it. And if you tune in, great. If you don't, you're out of luck till next year.
Yeah. Because in backing up, started in October, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And then there are things like you knew these things were coming and you had to be set up for which night is it. And I remember my mother being good about it. She goes, hey, this is coming up this week. You're going to, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Mom took care of it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
I didn't have to read through the TV guide.
The other thing, and neither you or I are dealing with this anymore because the kids that we are around are older, so they don't have this. But do you remember, and there's been kind of a pushback now, I've seen this online where people like stop lying to your kids. If they ask you if there's a Santa, tell them the truth.
Ooh.
That's a huge thing, and people are kind of divided on it either way. It is interesting if you think about it philosophically. You basically are lying to your kids for the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years of their lives when it comes to the Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, the whole thing. You're lying to them.
Yeah.
Is that creating do we end up having trust issues with our parents? Because once we figured out, I don't remember exactly that I figured out Santa, but I think I figured them all out at the same time because I remember, and this wasn't at Christmas time, this is actually Easter, and being at Springfield Mall. And like most malls, obviously 2 tiers, upper level, lower level, and the Easter Bunny was there. And I remember they were on the lower level, and we're like, oh, okay. So I'm peering over to see the Easter Bunny, and you could see the zipper on the back of the head, realizing that the head didn't connect to the body. And that was the moment I was like, that's not real. I distinctly remember. And I remember, my mom will tell you the story as well. She will say, yeah, he like in the mall that day went, that's not, again, you go, well, yeah, of course it's not real, moron. But when you're a kid, when you're 4 or 5 years old, you're going to believe everything. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the time when I was like, yeah, this is, and then you start going, all right, so if that's not real, let's go through all the other ones in your head, and you're like, So I don't remember then being like, that means Santa's not real either. But I knew right then this Easter Bunny thing is a farce.
I don't remember believing the Easter, like we didn't do the Easter Bunny story.
Okay.
Like, that all of a sudden you wake up and there's a basket. We didn't do that. What I have a hard time remembering is because I have a sister that's 8 years younger than me.
So you had to keep quiet.
I had to keep quiet, but I was also like, of course I'm going to keep quiet. This gravy train's going to keep rolling, right? That's fine.
Did you think if you suddenly, were like, yeah, I know Santa isn't real, that you were going to stop getting presents? I think that's what a lot of the older kids in the family probably go, okay, I don't think this is real, but if I'm wrong, now I don't get anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was worried about not getting presents, just because the scenario at the time, short story, my parents were both the oldest of 5 children. I was the only grandchild for 8 years.
Okay.
There was a cousin right before my sister. So Christmas was fantastic for me. Yeah. Not only gifts coming in on Christmas Eve, but waking up on Christmas morning. To me, it was the magic of Christmas morning because you had waited, you'd wanted things, and then you wake up and it's there.
Right.
And I honestly, and I'll say it to this day, that was the magic. Like you'd hoped and wished, and there it is. And that's what I sort of lament losing once I found out that, Santa's not real. There was still the magic because I didn't know what my parents were going to get me. I'd ask for things, whatever.
Right,
but
sure.
And then you might have got the one thing, but there was always a host of other things you didn't know about that
right.
Santa brought, which was exciting. To me, that's where I go, that's what I miss most is that magic feeling that morning of, oh my goodness, look at all the stuff, the tree, and it's quiet and the presents are laid out.
Right. Again,
the magic of Christmas. Do I feel like we're lying to our kids? I understand the argument, but
you are. You are.
You are. But
I guess you are if they ask and you say, well, do you think he's real or anything? Then yes, you're lying to them. I don't know that if a 5-year-old comes up to you and says, is Santa real? That you should be like, no, it's your parents, dummy. How stupid are you?
Yeah, I disagree with that. But I wouldn't, as they got older and had a serious, like, is this really real? I would leave it as, what do you think? Because, you can kind of take the line of, well, it's the magic of Christmas.
Right.
And what I just said, the magic, the spirit. So, and it goes away a little bit once you tell them. So, I mean, I wouldn't just outright lie and have a 13-year-old still thinking Santa shows up, right?
Yeah.
Because, we have a budget. But I think at some point, just going with the tradition, and when they figure it out, they figure it out. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
But so I'm sure someone's going to say it's horrible.
Of course,
to
because
do that.
you know why? They have to ruin everything. Those
have
are the
to
people
ruin
that
everything.
want to ruin everything. So I get that. Yeah, I mean, I had an older sister, so I was the younger one, and I don't remember ever having the conversation at all with older sister, younger cousins. Again, I don't remember being like, hey, this whole thing is a ruse. It's your parents that bring you everything. I don't remember having that, and I don't even remember being told by parents, okay, well, you can't tell so and so they're younger, again, cousins or siblings that are in the neighborhood. You can't tell them that's what this is. So I don't know that that's a whole thing. Because people talk about, oh, well, you get into school. Well, you know what? Kids tell other kids lots of stuff in school. It's how you learn about a lot of different things.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they learn about Santa. So be it. That's just the way it works.
Yeah. No, the discussion my parents had with me, and not just for my sister, was it's not your role to make or break Christmas for someone else. Because it doesn't matter what you know versus what someone else knows, what they think or believe. And of course, that was a bigger life lesson as well on so many fronts of that. But that was their thing, was it's not your place. So don't get involved. Don't do it.
Did you write letters?
Never did. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We did the Santa letters, and my mom ended up sending them to some friend of hers from when she was growing up in Maine, that the woman's still alive today. And at some point, and this is years ago now, she had brought them to show us, she kept all these letters over the years, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that I still knew where they were, or if she still had them, or what, because it would be funny to look back and see what you had written about and asked for and everything else. But yeah, so we did the whole Santa Claus letter thing, which I kind of like. And then when my ex's kids were younger, when they still believed in Santa. So this was probably when we were first started dating, because I think they were maybe 7 and 9. So you're at the borderline with the older one there. I had a guy that I worked with in Baltimore he was basically the production guy. He did all the voices and everything else. And he would do the Santa thing. If I said, hey, I'm going to have them call, can you just have whatever it is, say, this is Santa, leave them whatever. So he did it. And I was like, you guys got to act better than you do, because, and they're like, no, you don't. I'm like, we call Santa right now. We'll do it right now. So I would, get the thing out and dial it, and he would do the whole, and he, fantastic Santa voice. Tremendous. And he'd be like, I know this is, I'm not going to say their names, but so-and-so and so-and-so calling me, and I want you to know you've been very good this year, but you got to keep it up. There's only a few weeks left. And the absolute stunned look on their face. It was like, I'm sure they went to school the next day and were like, well, my mom's boyfriend knows Santa. We called him last night. So, those are things that's always fun. And again, I don't feel like you're necessarily lying. It's no different than going to a haunted house. Is any of that real? No. You're lying, but it's lying for the experience. It's no different than watching a movie. Those people, that person, was it Tom Cruise in Born on the 4th of July? He didn't lose his legs, right? He wasn't you're lying to us. That's the whole thing about acting in a movie. You're lying, but it's okay, because it's just for the experience.
Yes, we're here as active participants in the lie.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
You're fine.
No, because even before the whole thing with my sister, I just remembered this as we were talking. There is one one picture of me sitting on Santa's lap.
Okay.
Because other than that, I did not want to go sit on the mall Santa's lap. And
Okay. Well, maybe you had some sort of intuition that this guy was a criminal. I mean, you never know.
But I do remember part of the conversation was he's not real. So I had, like you said, I had some sense. And I remember my parents saying, well, he's a helper. There's only one Santa and he can't be everywhere all the time. These gentlemen, wherever mall we were at, are just helpers.
Yeah.
So I do remember having that. This can't be real, but it was about the Santa in the mall.
Right. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So anyway, I'm assuming you're done with all your shopping at this point. I hope so.
Nope.
You got 12 hours, my man. That's it.
No, this one's easy. The kids don't watch this yet, so they don't know. We go buy them lottery tickets, and I gotta go get those today.
Are you like you getting the scratchers?
We get the scratchers.
Okay, because Powerball is like 1.7 billion with a B. As I put my pinky in my side of my face, as you would on Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. 1.7.
My concern about that is I could buy them the ticket, but if it actually hit, but I'd have to get it back. That's the problem. Like,
I mean, you could buy them today and give them to them. They wouldn't know. I think the drawing is actually on. Well, it's tonight, right? Tonight's Wednesday.
Tonight?
Yeah, it'd be tonight. Yeah. So you would be like, I'm not going to give them these myself. I might go buy some of those. You know what? Why not? Christmas miracle. You just never know. But I like that. Scratchers.
We go buy the $1 scratchers that are holiday theme. Give them $5-10 worth. That way, if you win more, congratulations. If not, oh well.
You had a few minutes of having fun and everybody laughing about it. So that's good.
You do, I'm sure you're done, right?
I just about. I have to get my nephew. He wants some gift card for like Stream. It's called Steam. That's it. Steam.
Online gaming. Yes.
Yes. He's a huge online gaming guy. So he wants a gift card for Stream. I guess you can just go buy them places.
Yes.
I don't know.
Everywhere.
I looked on the Stream thing and it said 7-Eleven. So there's a 7-Eleven a mile from the house.
Oh yeah.
I'll go there and see if they have Steam gift cards.
Yeah. Tommy was into it. They're everywhere. So, and evidently, discussion for another time. That's the future of gaming. These game consoles and cartridges and all that are going away. It's going to be online access.
Not to get on a tangent, I know for the PlayStation, a lot of stuff, you don't actually go buy the disc anymore. You download it. And eventually you're not even going to do that anymore. You're just going to play. That won't be me.
Me neither.
Yesterday we had, again, to close it out, that we have the cleaning people come like every 2 weeks or whatever to clean the house, whatever. Mm-hmm. So we have our one room over the garage, which is basically where the cat lives. It's also the exercise room and everything else. We have a TV in there. My PlayStation is hooked up to that. I probably haven't played my PlayStation. We moved in here in July. Yesterday might have been the second time that I've even turned it on. So I don't play that often, but I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, at some point, this isn't even going to be a thing. You're just going to have it hooked up to your TV and you'll just stream all your content through the TV. Like you won't even need a PlayStation 5. It'll just be like, oh, I have the PlayStation 6 app or whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe consoles will be around forever, but it just feels like you're getting towards that thing where you're like, oh, okay, I pay for the PlayStation app. So I go there and then I pay for whatever game it is that I want to play. At this point, I would say GTA, but apparently that's not coming out now until May of next year. They keep screwing that up. So who knows? I don't know. But there it is. Yeah. So any final parting words before we get out of here?
I was going to say, be careful and don't shoot your eye out from A Christmas Story.
That's
my dad's favorite Christmas movie. So he will watch that all 24 hours if he could.
That's awesome. Well, I will do it from Home Alone because the kids messed up this line the other day. They thought it was Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. It's actually keep the change, you filthy animals. Yep.
This concludes this episode of Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhite. Gen X Men is now off the air.